Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to Espresso with Sky, giving you a fresh perspective on faith, life, God, and the Bible. This is Pastor Sky over here in Vancouver. Yes, I am back. I had a great trip to Houston, Texas, and I just wanted to tell you all the amazing things that God did during that time. But of course, you're also wondering what happened in that soccer tournament and how did my team actually do? So let's get into it. So let's get into that first miracle, and I'm going to tell you this was probably like the biggest sign we had that God was with us. For those of you guys who don't know, there's a verse in James chapter 5 verse 17 that talks about Elijah, and one of the miracles he did was he stopped the rain and then made the rain come back 3.5 years later through his prayer. And one thing I truly believe in is the power of prayer. And what happened in Houston was, Houston weather is like you're looking anywhere from like 37 to 39 degrees Celsius plus crazy humidity, and like no one wants to play in that type of weather if it's that hot and that humid. And on top of it, there was a storm coming in. So we're like, man, this is gonna be crazy, because if it's stormy and rainy, it's gonna be muddy and slippery, it's gonna be bad conditions to play soccer. But if it's hot and humid, then we're just gonna be exhausted after 5-6 games. So, you know, we prayed like, God, please make the weather work out well for us. Just like Elijah did in his time, he prayed and the rain stopped. And this is the crazy part. What would be the most ideal weather is like if it was like stormy and cloudy. It was just cloudy, so there's no like sun rays, like, you know, right now it's beaming on my face. Like if there was no like this sun just beaming on us, but there's clouds to cover that sunlight. There's a little bit of a breeze, and if the storm is coming, like, God, it would be perfect for like a light drizzle, right? This is what we're praying for. This is like, God, please, we gotta have something like this happen. And lo and behold, on that Saturday, there was a storm coming in, but I'm going to show you the pictures of the satellite feed of the weather coming in and where we were. And the craziest thing was the storm was coming towards us, and then it split in half and just avoided us. So what happened was, we're on this soccer field. It's cloudy, so there's no sun. There's like very light drizzle every once in a while. But when you look on the outside, like let's just say, like, you know, you see all the clouds behind me here, right? You can see lightning strike, right? You can see lightning strike, and you know that it's raining in other places. People that are coming to the soccer tournament are thinking it's going to be rainy and muddy, but it's rainy outside the stadium or outside the soccer field we're at, and then once you come in, it's not rainy anymore. And that was one of the first miracles, the sign that God was with us during this tournament. And it was God just making the weather perfect for us in a place where it is impossible to have these conditions. Even people from Houston were like, we've never seen this type of weather like this, right? Just everything's cloudy, no sun, a light drizzle, and even a breeze coming in. So that was the first miracle. All right, so let's get into the second miracle. And this second miracle was just mind-blowing for me because it has to do with the words of God. Now, what does that mean? Well, on Saturday, we played 4 games and we finished with 2 wins and 2 ties. We're first in our pool. And what happened was the next day was the semifinals and the finals. But in the morning, we had service. So during the service, what message came out? What was the words of God at that time? It was, only those that do things until the end will be successful, if you do it until the end. So, there's this verse that comes to mind, which is Philippians chapter 4, verse 9, that says, whatever you've seen, whatever you've listened or heard from me, you need to put those into practice. And the thing that comes to my heart is, well, if this really is the words of God, if you put the words of God into practice, then surely God would make it work. So here, all of us, coming from that Sunday sermon saying we got to do it until the end. And what happened was, it was the team that was actually able to do things until the end that kept winning. So what happened to us? So in the semifinal game, I told you, with less than a minute left, we scored a goal, but how did it happen? There was one of our best players. He gets injured with a couple minutes left, and he sits off, but then he gets this inspiration, which is, do it until the end. And even though he's injured, he gets back into the game, and with only like a few seconds left, he scores the winning goal, and he testified like, wow, I put the words of God into action, I listened to what God said in the Sunday message, and he scored the game-winning goal. Second thing was exactly the same in the final game with that pro player. What happens? One of the best players on our team in the midfield, he gets injured. He's off the field. You know, they're working on his muscles as like cramped or he sprained his knee or something along that line. But same thing happens. With probably less than 2 minutes left, he comes back on. And you know, he's just working his butt off. He's the one that actually passed the ball twice to me to score in front of the net, and it's probably my fault for not scoring, right? But the ball hits the defender's arm, it's a penalty kick, and he scores the winning goal to win the game. And this guy actually scored both goals in that game, in the finals. When I looked at that, I was like, wow, God, we listened to that Sunday message, that sermon saying that only those that do things until the end will be saved. And kind of God did exactly that. And those two players that did it until the end, even though they were a little bit injured, they were the ones that scored the goal. And at the end of it, it was just them testifying about putting the words of God into action and actually making it happen. And I thought that was such an amazing thing that happened, that things happened according to God's word for that week. Either way, I hope that that's something that inspires a lot of you guys out there. But I hope that you guys have an amazing and awesome week, and we'll see you guys again next week on Espresso with Sky, all right? Everyone have an amazing and awesome day, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.